Good evening, District 4. Today, we will be doing candidate showcase. Joining me this evening is candidate for Division C Director, Phim. The format of this is I will ask Phim some questions, she will answer them, and then give a statement at the end. First question. Please describe your understanding of the Division Director role.
Division director role. Well, as a division director, you ultimately oversee your entire division. You work and support your area directors and as well as also each individual club. And and another responsibility would be the club officer training. That's where your main, well, not your main, but that's where one of your responsibility, and the other one would be the club contest. But ultimately, your entire responsibility would be oversee to and also to support clubs in your division. Thank you.
Describe how you lead a team.
I'll give example of first one at work. I work as the auditor for a mortgage lending firm, and one of the job is to once we perform an audit, we had the findings, and we need to make sure that we work with a business partner to find the recommendations, what I call actionable and realistic recommendations, and that's where I would try to recommend and then work on the solution what would be possible. And then after we come up with the recommendations, then we work on the time frame of what of how long it would take, and then do the implementations and then do the follow-up to make sure that we solve the issue. And then now for the Toastmaster, I'll give example as the my current position as division director. I support my two area directors for the club for the contest, for the area contest. I assist them and also help them trying to recruit people for to participate and to volunteer at the club contest. I mean at the area contest. Thank you.
How do you plan on engaging and supporting the area directors on your team?
One other thing that I want to try to improve, which I think that's what I lack for this term, would be try to communicate with my area director, not just at the beginning where to set a clear instruction and a goal for our divisions and each area, but I want to keep continue and follow up and keep continue and follow up on the progress of our of each club in their area. So it would be one is to set up a monthly meeting, not just an email, but monthly meeting face to face on Zoom with the area. And also, perhaps I can also invite some of the club officer to come and have the meeting as well. So that's where I wanted to be able to communicate with not just the area, but also the message to the each club as well, as far as what's your challenges, what does this club need, and what we can do to help.
An area director comes to you with a problem about a club who's not being responsive. How will you help support them?
Well, first I will probably use what I have learned from other um, area directors or other divisions director, or also some of the past district director, where try to get maybe contact with someone within that club. It's a lot of time you are you're gonna know someone within that club, and perhaps that's which way you try to reach out, have a soft communication with that person in within that club first, and then introduce that person to your area director. Because sometimes what I learn is that when even though when you talk to a person on email, it may not be that effective, but when you get on the phone or visit them in the meeting and try to introduce, that's where you get people to know you, see your face, and get more communicate better. Thank you.
An area director on your team stops being responsive. How do you handle this?
That's a challenging question, but I probably just take the action myself first. That's the immediate action I would do. Just take the actions, do all the tasks that the director would need to do, and then after I complete that task, then I'll try to reach out to that specific area director of what I have done, and then also ask that person of what their challenges. Maybe perhaps they don't have time overload at work, but let's try to work together. But first of all, need to I wanted to take whatever the deadline that we need to do. Let's say, for example, club visit. If my area director is not responding with the club visit or not doing any club visit, then I'll go and complete the club visit first, and then come and talk to my area director of, hey, you need to do A, B, C, D to help with the club. But I wanted to take the immediate actions and then come and talk to the area director.
Different divisions in the district have different needs. How will you assess the needs of your division and help to address them?
Well, first, that this is what I did at the beginning of my term as the division director. I went and looked at um, their DCP point to see where they at and what they need, and then I had the Excel spreadsheet to count what points they have, and let's say if they lag on, because most of in the division sometimes they might be getting 2 3 points, but mainly from the admin and then from the member, but then nothing for the education. So I know that club is lack of the education, but there might be certain club where education's all full with um 4 or 5 points, but they are lacking on the new members. So that I know that that particular club is need help with the club growth. So that's where I would go, just to look at the DC access by looking at the DCP program. But then also the other way would be the other one would be to assess through the club visit.
What innovative ideas do you plan to bring to the role of division director?
To have this one I've been thinking, but I have not done it yet, but to have a centralized plat well, not really a platform, more like a place where location where all of my area directors can come together and discuss and feedback and talk to each other, and but not just for the area director, but have for the club officer as well, because as we know, in each area there are going to be strong clubs for a certain aspect, but there's going to be a club that needs help. So that could be a place where we share the idea, challenges, and communicate with each other. So I wanted to have the place where maybe similar to Slack, but maybe it's more of just for within the division where we can talk to each other, or maybe also keep the resources where we go here to grab to grab the informations of, okay, open house, what do you need to do, and maybe also just to be a place where one club can also talk to another club and help each other on that matters of other club needs. Thank you.
Sometimes there are situations where the good of the group differs from your own personal goals. When this happens, how will you handle this situation and what decision will you make?
if we have a different opinion, first thing that I learned from Toastmaster, listen. We need to be able to we need to sometimes even though we might have a different opinion or disagree, but one thing for sure that I learned from Toastmaster, one is to listen first, to be able to listen to what the other person has to say. And sometimes you may not agree, but but it's just that you at least you know what that person has to say, and that's where the communications come in. And then the next part would be the voting. You have to respect the vote. I will have to go with the majority of what the decision is, even though I di disagree with that decisions, but I still believe in, majority vote.
Succession planning is important. How will you encourage area directors to take the next step in district leadership?
For the decision planning.
Succession planning, like to replace you next the year after.
Oh, um that is something that well, that's a good question. It's but I silence because I still haven't found it's just something that I wanted to be able to develop that encouragement skill where I will be able to tell someone, hey, you good. You can take your skills as a leadership skill as area director and move to a division director. Or I did try to encourage someone to I sent this person an email because I thought she has potential to maybe she could step up to be a division director or an area director. And I just bring out all of her good points of what she's good at. She has a good leadership skills and she's up for the challenge and and she she can multitask and I work well with her. Unfortunately, she has a lot of workload, so declined my offer. But that's something that I will probably continue to encourage people by bringing up their good points, what you can bring to Toastmaster, what you can bring to the club, and what you can help with the Toastmaster or the district community.
As a division director, what support would you like from the district?
What would I like from the district? I well, probably just I think our district did a better job or I did a good job already where we is like with right now with our current top four. I feel the support from all of them where they follow up, they reach out, they sent email. Probably just to continue to communicate with the division directors or the area director, just and that's probably the support that I wanted to add, just more just communication. But as far as right now, I think they have done an excellent job. And giving an example of the PR manager, I had a club that had issue with LinkedIn or Facebook, and they need to work on that. So I just sent an email to the PR manager email, and then boom, she helped out. So I think feel I have a lot of support from all the districts.
Getting volunteers for the contests can be difficult. How will you motivate members to be more involved in the division?
To get more. That's that's what I'm facing right now. But just to get people more involved would be I I think my tactic is probably my approach is I think I'm at the right approach where I continue to visit a lot of clubs. I try to visit a few a few clubs. Well, once I sent them an email asking them for volunteer, but the next step that I do, I try to visit their club so they know who they talking to, who is Phim, who is asking them for a volunteer or help out. And and then also like for any challenging or perhaps what they call could be a big role like Toastmaster, I once I ask for a volunteer, I also give them a descriptions too of what they can be expecting as as if they wanted to perform the role. But right now, what I've been doing is I sent out an email and I try to see if I can go visit that club on Zoom or online, just to that they know that I am here. I am here to ask for help, but and then at the same time, would encourage people to go to the contest to also learn from other speakers as well. And also it's a good place for networking that you can meet other different clubs.
What is a lesson you have learned in your district leadership journey?
Communication is the key and don't give up. Uh, and the reason I said that is because um, sometimes it could be a one-way communications, but you did send the message and just continue sending um, that message to them. Just it's that's the way to go. And then another thing that I feel like as the division director and I missed and someone did point out to me was that I was so much involved with okay, how do I increase the how do I help a club increase members or working on their pathways, but I forgot the key points or the core of Toastmaster. Why are we here? What was the reason why I joined Toastmaster? And what a lot of people's reason to join Toastmaster is personal and professional growth. So that's something that I was so involved with the number that sometimes I missed that. And I think that's what I wanted to bring it back to when when they have an open house or whatnot. It's just to remind people and also to encourage new people who are coming that Toastmaster is a place that you can develop your speaking skill, leadership skill. Like for example, I believe it was that during the TLI where one of the sessions, I believe it was Tony DeLeon, he mentioned something, hey, this is where you learn your leadership skill. If you don't, you may not have a chance opportunities at work, but in Toastmaster, you are going to have that opportunity serving as the club level for the club officer or at the district level. So that's something that I think I have learned that to go back to the basic for Toastmaster. It's why we are here.
What is one skill you hope to learn as division director?
Networking. I hope to expose myself more. I feel like I don't network enough where yes, yes, I think so. I get to know a few more people, but I feel that I want to have that connections. I wanted to get connected with not just for my area directors in my divisions, but also other divisions as well. And then also getting to know other clubs and then other club members. So maybe that could also, and then bring it back to the recruitment or the volunteer. That will help me a lot with the volunteer. Once I not only networking, but maybe we can, maybe I can have not to the personal level, but more like a relationship, build more relationship with a lot of people in Toastmaster.
Describe a situation that was difficult for you to handle. Share a little bit about what the situation was and how you were able to get through it.
Just describe the situation. Well, okay. It's gonna be about work again. Um, as I mentioned, I work as the auditor, and a lot of times as the auditor, one of the one of the things that we have to bring to on the table is to tell the other party what you did wrong, or maybe you're not following the requirement or the regulations, and this is what you need to fix, which is may not sometimes a lot of times it's not favorable to the other person per se or the other business units because they have a different goal or perspective. So if they perhaps follow they don't agree with my audit findings, and I have learned from Toastmaster that to get through it is communications. One, I once I listened to them and then also expressed it to what my reason is, which is to have the backup resource and and then at the same time we always have the same goal, which is to protect the company, still making the sales, and also to protect our consumer. So we have the same goal. It's just something that I just need to remind them that we are not here to point a finger at you, but we here to help each other out, help you, help the company, and help our borrower or the consumer. So just like almost like evaluation where we don't give we don't just give a feedback just because we don't like the speech or we don't like what that person said, but we give the speech for the improvement. We we give the speech for the improvement and also for the other to learn from that person's mistake as well.
As division director, sometimes you'll be pulled in many different directions. You'll supporting multiple area directors at the same time. How will you organize your time and manage all of the various tasks?
I will rely on my Excel spreadsheet. I will have to write it down we- with what's the task for the area director and also division director, and then including the deadline of what needs to be done. And that's what I did with the give example of the club visit. I list down all of the clubs in my divisions and then break it out to each area, and then going and do a research of, okay, are this going to be a hybrid club or online club? When do they meet? And and then of course then I look at the deadline of where the club visits need to be complete. And a lot of time I prioritize the club that perhaps meeting monthly because that's probably going to be the club that not often meets, and then that's what I go with first. And then but along that line other tasks, the follow-up tasks that may need to be done, which is to follow up about the DCP program and to follow. I also continue to follow up and monitor that as well for the not the loan officer, the the club officer, and then another thing would be the officer training. I I would just monitor how many officers from each club have completed the training and then continue to follow up with them and encourage them to go ahead and complete the training. But I will go back to my best friend's Excel spreadsheet and list out what I need to do and then go from there and then have a check mark at the end.
There will be times when you are unable to assist. How will you tell them no?
Ooh, that's hard. Um, to assist with the um this with well it really depends on what it is, but if it has to be something that I just unavailable at all, I just or I just can't be there, then I'll just have to be honest and say that I cannot I cannot help or and give my reason why it will, but most likely I'll try my best to see if I can, and if I cannot, then perhaps I can try to find someone else to see if if that person can help with specific task. But otherwise, then I'll try to I'll tell that person, but I would do my best effort first to be able to help make sure that, oh, actually, let me give you example. I was not able to be in persons and assist at the one of the area contests, but I did my because I was in SoCal, so I did my best to try to support my area director of getting people and help him get organized and make sure that he have all the volunteers that he need for for the contest.
We are all busy in life. How would you prioritize taking care of yourself when the time comes?
I feel like Toastmaster is not it's not something that is a burden because if it is, I probably just don't join in the first place or quit or just tell the Lucia or Joy that hey, I'm done, I'm walking out. But to me, I feel like everybody has 24 hours the same time is that for me to prioritize myself is that when I see success of the club, when I see that the club had 8 members for the struggling club, or when I see that the strong clubs reach that 9 goal, is that's my enjoyment. That's what I see, and I think that's what it comes to where I'm happy to see my the clubs in my division growth.
Can you share a time when you had to ask for help?
Yes, yes, the time to ask for help would be volunteers for the contest. That's where I asked for help and just early this, and I've been sending out the emails to everybody in my divisions to ask for help. But at the same time, I also asked for help from a various email various divisions as well as asking for just today that I text one of my area director if he knows anyone to help out at the contest. So then that's that. So that that's probably the reasons I can think of. I'm ready to give my closing statement. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, Jennifer and Tim, just want to thank for the opportunity for this showcase and also consider me for the division's director position again. I've been involved with Toastmaster for several years, and I serve as the Surgeon at Arm, VPE, and Secretary roles, and I'm also currently a Division D director. At least I believe that I'm committed to creating an environment where every Toastmaster can develop their skills and reach to their full potential. And I wanted to be, I wanted to serve as the Division C director this time. I wanted to be a serve as division director again to improve or to improve from what I have not done this term, and perhaps I can bring it back and I can bring it and deliver and do it for the next term. So I'm excited to be, if you allow me, I'm excited to take part and possibly serving as the division director again. Thank you.
Thank you, Pim, for your time